What is going on YouTube? Today I want to talk to you about building this Christmas tree. My name's Andy, this is Cedar River Woodworking. Welcome to the shop. How freaking cool is that? I've really enjoyed building this tree. And I would like for you to follow along and I can show you exactly how I built this tree. Now, just a few things to get out of the way. I just want to say thank you to everyone that has joined our channel or has even checked out a video. If you came here from another video, please let me know down in the comments section below. Down in the doobly-doos. Now, there has been a lot of you that have watched some of these videos, and unfortunately, only about 10% of the viewers of this channel are subscribed. So if you like this video or you came from another one, please consider subscribing. Now, let's get down to the saws and I'll show you exactly how we made this tree. All right, welcome to the miter station. We have an 8-foot 1x10 over here that we're gonna cut up into this Christmas tree. First thing that we're gonna do is we are going to tilt our saw to 30 degrees. Tighten that down. Now what we are going to do for some measurements here is we're going to start off at 8 inches. So we're going to go ahead and mark out our 8 inches. And then we will set a stop block for that. And then we're going to cut this and we're going to go all the way around it. Now, be careful with this when you have a stop block. You don't want to have the blade come up while it's still spinning. It can cause a kickback and throw the pieces at you. So we're just going to leave that angle facing the ground and make the other 3 cuts. Now on these ones that are across from each other, these should be where it just barely gets to that corner. It should not leave a flat spot for you. Right, so now we have our piece. You can see all the edges cut out here. We're gonna go ahead and cut another one at 8 inches. Now, since we already have a bevel cut on this, we can flip the board and that's one less cut that we'll need to do. So now we have 2 of them cut. We are going to go ahead and cut some more of these. So what this is going to do, we are going to go from 8 inches up to 2 inches, and then we're going to cut a peak on it. Now make sure that you stick around for that. I'll show you in an interesting way how we're going to go ahead and cut that point at the top for this. All right, so those cuts over in the miter station on these really small pieces get really scary. So we are over here at the table saw and we're going to cut the rest of these bevels on this. I would highly recommend using a push block and be completely safe when you are making these cuts. So just like over at the miter saw, I have this set to a 30-degree angle and we're going to go ahead and run this through. So now that we are back here at the miter saw station, we need to cut the very top of this tree. I'm going to cut a 70-degree angle on this. So how I'm going to do that, because I don't know of a miter saw station that can cut that, I'm gonna go ahead and use an extreme angle jig. If you have not seen the video for this, please check it out in the cards above. So I have a mark here on the side of this. I'm just gonna go ahead and line my board up and transfer the mark here. What that mark is for is it's going to make it so that I can index this piece of 2x2 into the correct position. So we're gonna go ahead and set this up and make some of these cuts. Now remember, when you're setting this up, you're gonna wanna go ahead and butt the blade up against the piece, and then we are going to clamp it into position. Now to get our 70-degree angle, we need to add 25 degrees to our 45 degrees on this. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to take the line that I have on this piece of wood and I'm going to transfer it all the way around the piece. So we're going to make this safe. I don't need to hold this because these fences I can clamp onto. And we are just going to line up our mark here, clamp our board into place, and make our 4 cuts. Now, once we have our point cut out, we are going to just go ahead and cut that to whatever length that we want. I'm going to cut it just underneath the shoulders here, or the long sides of these angles. So taking our saw back to 90 degrees, just gonna go ahead and cut the end off of here. Now we have the top to our tree. So here we are back at the bench. We have some 8-inch squares all the way down to a 2-inch square. Now these small ones, like I said, I would highly recommend cutting on the table saw. They're much safer, and if you have a sled that can cut in bevels or miters, that is a very, very safe way to do these. So off camera, I did cut 3 5x5 pieces, and let's get this tree assembled. What I'm using is 1-inch brad nails. If you do not have a brad nailer yet, I would highly recommend just going straight to an electric nailer. They're a lot more convenient. You don't need to buy an air compressor, hoses, or anything like that. I will have this linked in the description below. So what we're going to do is we will put some glue between each layer here and sandwich everything together. These bottom layers aren't going to be very exciting because they're just some 5x5 pieces that we're putting together. So these brad nails are going to just help hold everything together until the glue dries. The glue is going to be what really holds everything together. All right, now that we have essentially our trunk assembled, we're gonna go ahead and put our 8-inch pieces on here. I'm gonna flip this over so I can eye where about center is on here. Drop some glue down on it. And then flip it over. Now we're gonna have to re-eye this again. Just make sure everything's straight. Drive some brad nails in there. So how we're gonna get some dimension in this tree is every other layer we're gonna turn at a 45-degree angle. This first one, you're really just gonna have to eyeball. The rest of them, you can watch it as it comes up and you can see all of the lines just cascade down. It's actually a really cool effect from above. So again, some glue in between everything. You probably don't have to put 4 brad nails in these. It's just something I'm doing to make me feel better. You could probably use 2 or 3 in there and it'll be perfectly fine. So here, our next layer, the first 7-inch is going to be lined up with the bottom layer. Yeah, 2 feels pretty good in there. Now, if you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. This is pretty far into the video here, and it really helps us out. Now, you don't need to watch me do all of this. Through some movie magic, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip to the end here. Now, there's one last trick that I'm gonna do to put the very peak on here. Now, it's gonna look kind of weird to see some brad nails in the top here, so I'm just gonna use some glue and CA glue. What the CA glue is gonna do is gonna act as our clamp until this wood glue sets up. Now, the wood glue that I'm using is just Type on 2 original. And the best way that we can do this is I've got some wood glue on here. Then I'm gonna put some CA glue, and that's gonna adhere very quickly when I put all of this on here. And that's already set. So then we're gonna wait a couple hours and the wood glue will be dry too. If you made it this far, let me know if you would like a steeper angle on this point up top, or if you think you like it how it is. Like I said, this has been a very fun video to shoot. This thing is really, really cool when you look down at all the different angles that it portrays. So let me know if you made one of these trees or not. Anyways, my name has been Andy. This has been Cedar River Woodworking, and we'll see you in the next video.